Yes, learners have been requesting me integrated science grade 7 papers. Today, well, your teacher is with you here with integrated science grade 7 prediction for the opener coming exams. So let's dive to the paper. Section A. You can easily see that section A is 20 marks. So which of the following apparatus cannot be used to measure accurate volumes of liquids in a laboratory? So cannot, underline the word cannot, be used to measure accurate volumes of liquids. So we know that volumetric flask has a mark, and that mark will always tell the amount of volume, amount of liquid that this particular flask can hold. Burette, also it is up to 50 ml. Pipette, 25 ml. Conical flask, this one is used to measure approximate volume. Approximate volume. Something approximate means that it is not exact. We are kind of guessing. Are you getting that? So that is it. Let's dive to question 2. Jaylin was walking home and noticed dark clouds. So this girl again was walking home and noticed dark clouds forming. She decided to take an umbrella. Which scientific skill did she use? Remember, this is how Kenyans behave. I don't know that it is only in Kenya or rather in Nigeria or in USA. I don't know what happens. But when a human being notices that the clouds are dark, what is coming to their brain? Rain. That is rain that is about to fall. So that is gazing. Are you getting that? So that kind of scientific skill this girl had was prediction. Are you getting that? So prediction is when you trying to make a guess. Number 3, that was so simple. Number 3, Mark accidentally mixed salt and water during an experiment. He wants to recover pure water from further use. Which method is most appropriate for Mark to obtain pure water from salt solution? Now, when salt and water are mixed together, they form a homogeneous mixture. Are you getting that? So it dissolves and forms a dissolved solution. That happens. And how can we recover back our salt? Or how can we remain with pure water? Through distillation. In distillation process, we are going to heat the mixture. And once we heat the mixture to the boiling point of water, water will boil. And then when it boils, it turns to gas or gaseous state, further heating at temperature that is above the boiling point. It forms the vapor, and the vapor is now passed via the condenser. The Liebig's condenser, what is its role? It cools the vapor and condenses it back to liquid. Now the liquid, which is water, is being collected as a distillate at the end of that. Now the process where we can easily obtain pure water from salt solution is distillation. After completing her experiment on evaporation rates, Sophia recorded her results neatly, organized in a neatly organized chart, and shared them with her classmates. Which scientific process was Sophia demonstrating by sharing her results? Remember, she was experimenting. That particular scientific skill, when a person experiment, is experimentation skill, and then recorded her results. When you record the results, that is data analysis. You organize your data, and then you record. You first of all record, and then you organize, and then you can now analyze the data. And then from there, this guy is organizing a chart and then sharing them with her classmates. So what happens when you share your results with your classmate? And remember, the result is in an organized chart. You're trying to communicate to us. So the scientific skill or process that was being demonstrated by this lady was communication. She was trying to communicate to us via a chart the evaporation rates of whatever she was experimenting. So let's dive to number 5. Leah used a universal indicator to test 3 different household liquids. She recorded the pH of each as follows. So we have the pH of them here. Number 1 is orange juice with a pH of 3. That shows us that this orange is acidic. Water, pH 7. This one is a neutral substance. And then soap solution, a pH of 9. That is a basic substance. Which of the following correctly classifies the liquids Leah tested? All acids, no. All basic, no. Orange juice, acid. Water, neutral. Soap, base, true. So the right choice there is choice C. Number 7. Which part of the male reproductive system carries urine and semen out of the male body? The part of male reproductive system that carries urine is urethra. Remember, what happens? Urine is being produced by the kidney. And then that urine, after it has been produced, it is being transported from the kidney to the urinary bladder by what we call the ureter. Ureter transports it to the bladder. And then it is taken to the urethra, which allows the passage of urine out of the body. Again, when semen is produced by the testis or sperm is produced by the testis, what happens? They are being taken out of the body via the urethra. So that is the male part aiding in those functions. Number 6, of course, from number 5, we ought to have gone to number 6, but the numbering is the problem. That is not a challenge to us. The questions are whatever we need plus the answers. And if in case you have a question based on whatever I'm discussing here, kindly just comment down there, or you can text me via WhatsApp 0791937308. We can always interact and we reach or we have solutions. Taras was asked to heat a small amount of salt solution to observe what happens when water evaporates. Are you getting that? Salt solution was heated, and then what was being observed? Water was evaporating. He later set up the experiment as shown in the picture below. Which of the following best explains the purpose of the wire gauge in the Taras experiment? So the role of wire gauge in this case, remember there is heat here, source of heat. When heating is happening this way, the wire gauge now distribute heat evenly. The wire gauge distribute heat evenly and even prevent cracking of this particular evaporating dish. So let's see. To allow the flame to pass directly into the beaker, no. To stir, no, we use stirring rods in stirring. To measure the temperature, no, we use thermometer to distribute heat and prevent beaker from cracking. That is the answer. Number 8. Godana saw the following apparatus in the school laboratory. So this is kinda a beam balance. This is a beam balance. It is used to measure mass of substances. So in that case, which of the following basic quantities is measured using the apparatus shown above, the mass? Number 9. After washing clothes, Mariam hung them outside on the clothesline. The water slowly disappeared and the clothes became dry. So remember, during laundry, the clothes are wet. And what makes them wet? The water, which is a liquid. So you hang them, and then they are being heated by the sun. Sun heat it. And then when it is being heated, it turns to gas. That process by which liquid changes to gas is called evaporation. Which process helps separate water from the clothes? Evaporation. Number 10. Aisha placed a bag of sugar on the electronic scale at a supermarket. The electronic balance displayed the mass of 2 kilograms. Which type of unit is kilogram in this context? So remember, no calculation was needed. That kind of a unit where calculation is not needed is a basic unit. But where calculation is needed is a derived unit or derived quantity. Are you getting that? So the unit there is a basic unit. While in school, Amina experienced her first menstrual period and was initially confused. Her teacher reassured her that this was a normal part of growing. True. What does this physical change indicate? Onset of menopause? No. Actually, she's very young. She's still growing. There's no menopause happening. She was just confused because it was the first time, and it is normal part of growing up. And that is why the teacher reassured this particular lady that it was the normal part of growing. Are you getting that? So menopause begins after 45 years for the females. For the males, we are up to 72. You can easily see. Men, Anyway, let's dive to B. That Amina is now fully grown. No, Amina is still growing. She's not fully grown. Beginning of reproductive maturity. Yes, she has now begun being mature in terms of reproduction. As much as reproduction is concerned, she is now beginning to be mature. Illness or infection? No. The right answer there is choice C. Let's dive. 12. After jogging, Sharon's skin became moist. So the skin became moist and her t-shirt had wet patches under her arms. So that tells us that she's sweating. And when you sweat, excess water is taken out and salt. Are you getting that? So those are the constituents of salt. Let's dive. What waste product was being removed through Sharon's skin? So just like I've said, it is sweat, and sweat is composed of salt and water. Carbon dioxide, no. Salt and water, true. So the right answer is choice B. And digested food, there's no food there, and urea is only produced by the kidney. Sorry, kidney. It is the kidney that produces urea as a waste product. Which of the following correct describes the effect of litmus paper on acids and bases? So let's see. Blue litmus paper stays blue in acids. No, it stays blue in basic. Red litmus paper turn blue in bases. Red litmus paper turns blue in bases. True. True. Red turns blue. Blue litmus paper turns red in bases. No. Red litmus paper turns no. So the right answer is choice B. Number 14. Malik kicked a football that was rolling towards him. It changed direction and moved the other way. What effect of force is shown in this situation? The force can change the direction of a moving. Yes. Remember, this ball was directed towards him. And then she kicked the ball. And then the ball changed direction and moved away. So it tells us that force can change the direction of a moving object. Force can make an object heavier? No. Can change the color? No. No. So the right answer is choice A. Number 15. Yusuf was playing at the playground and pushed his sister on the swing, his little sister. The swing moved forward and backward repeatedly. That is something that we've done, that is something that you've done, and that is something that kids have been doing. Which effect of force is Yusuf demonstrating? You have been doing some physics. So what is the effect of force in this case? Force can change the shape of an object? No. We are not changing the shape. The shape of the child is not being changed here. Force can stop a moving object. The child is not stopping. The child is moving. Force can move a stationary. Yes. Remember the child. The child was just there and she was on the swing. There was no movement already. So it was at rest, stationary at rest. No movement was involved. And then all of a sudden, the boy came and pushed her little sister to swing forward and backward repeatedly. Now movement is happening. So force can move a stationary object. Remember, she pushed her by force. Which part of microscope is used to focus the image under high power? That is fine adjustment knob. That is used to focus the image under high power. Fine adjustment knob. A Bunsen burner produces a blue flame. Blue flame is produced by non-luminous flame when the air hole is fully open. Air hole is fully opened. When the air hole is open, true. The gas supply is reduced, no. Air hole is closed, no. The right answer is choice A. Right answer is choice A. The right answer is choice A. Let's dive to 18. Jamal's torch stopped working. Why? He opened it to check the batteries and wires. He reconnected the wires and replaced the batteries. The torch worked again. Which branch of integrated science did Jamal apply in fixing the torch? That is physics. That is physics that deals with energy. Gloria noticed a warning symbol on the can of bug spray showing a dead tree and a fish. Yes, you should not harm anything harmful to the environment. So it means that that particular thing that she noticed or she noticed is harmful to the environment. That is why there was a warning showing a dead tree and a fish. So it therefore means that once you apply that particular substance or thing, or you spray it, I can see bag of spray can on the can of a bug spray. It means once you spray that particular thing to the environment, trees are going to die and fish are going to die. So which of the following hazard symbol did she likely so harmful to the environment? Not toxic, not flammable, not corrosive. Last question under section A. Grade 7 learner started feeling isolated and being misunderstood. He decided to join a school club to meet peers with similar interest. What strategy is the learner using to cope with social changes during adolescence? Avoiding people? No. Building supportive relationship. Don't worry, that is the slip of the tongue. So that is the right answer. Seeking independence from everyone? No. Relying on? No. The right answer is building supportive relationships. So that particular question brings us to the end of section A. It was a very powerful paper with all topics in grade 7 covered. Kindly go through the questions and get ready for the open exams. Section B. 30 marks. Distinguish between homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture while giving an example in each case. So we know that homogeneous forms a uniform solution. Forms a uniform solution. Example, e.g., salt and water, comma, milk and water, etc. Heterogeneous forms a non-uniform solution or mixture, e.g., sand and water. Number 22, Hezron accidentally spilled sulfuric acid on his hand during an integrated science practical experiment. What type of injury did she likely sustain? So that is called chemical burn. Chemical burn. So chemicals can burn the skin. Chemical can burn the skin. What immediate action should be taken to provide first aid? Now, number one, or the immediate action is run cold water on the burnt area for 10 minutes. For 10 minutes. So run cold water. Run plenty of cold water. In fact, plenty of cold water on the burnt area for 10 minutes. Number 23, a grade 7 learner carried a light microscope correctly with both hands and adjusted it to view onion cells. Which part did she rotate to focus the specimen? So just like in the question above, we talked about fine adjustment knob. So this question is open. We can either write coarse adjustment knob or fine adjustment, which are being adjusted or rotated to focus the specimen. But in this case, we want to view the onion cell, sharp focus. We use fine adjustment knob. Are you getting that? For higher view. But low field of view or blurry images are being formed by close adjustment knob, which is not our main aim. Our main aim is to see the onion cell clearly, so we're going to adjust or rotate the fine adjustment knob. If one hand held the arm, name the part she held with the other hand while carrying it, so that is the base. That is the base. State one reason for handling a microscope correctly to prevent permanent damage. To optics, e.g. the lenses. Optics are the lenses. So that is it. 24, a sugar production process involves several steps, including crushing sugarcane to extract juice. So solid, liquid. Filtering out solid residue and separating sugar crystals from liquid syrup. The sugar is then dried, packaged, and distributed to various parts of the country. Which method is most likely used to separate the solid bagasse sugarcane residue from juice after crushing the sugarcane? So we can use mechanical filtration in this case. Mechanical filtration for those who have done extraction of sugar, or if you have visited a Mumia Sugar Company or Sony Sugar Company, I don't know whether it is still functioning, or any other sugar company, go and check mechanical filtration or screening method. It is used to separate the residue from the juice. To obtain solid sugar from sugar solution, solid sugar from sugar solution, which method is that? Even salt from salt solution, crystallization. The factory heats the juice until crystals form. Which method? That is crystallization. Crystallization. Remember, crystals are forming. Crystallization. What is the importance of separating sugar crystals from the syrup in sugar making process? So we do that in order to ensure, when we want to separate crystals from syrup in sugar making process, to ensure sugar quality. Are you getting that? To ensure sugar quality and purity. Those two are very, very important. We want to ensure that the quality of sugar remains and purity remains pure. How does the process of sugar separation support local economy? Hey, job creation leads to job creation. Leads to job creation. Both indirect from the companies and direct from the farms. So it leads to job creation. Another importance is generation of income. Farmers are paid. Farmers are paid, they get money. Generation of income. The company also receive the sugar, then they sell them, they get money. Generation of income. So generation of income to local farmers. Creation of job to local farmers. Very important. Those are the two importance. Number 25. Dorcas tasted lemon juice. Acidic. Soap solution, basic. Vinegar, acidic. Baking soda, basic. With red and blue litmus papers, a universal indicator and a pH chart. When Dorcas dipped a blue litmus paper into lemon juice, blue, the paper turned red. What did this indicate? That lemon is acidic substance. So when you dip a blue litmus paper to acid, it changes to red. When she tested soapy water with the red litmus paper, it turned blue. What conclusion did the learner make about the soapy water? Soapy water is basic. Soapy water is basic or alkaline. That is the conclusion. The learner used a universal indicator to test vinegar. She recorded the pH of 3. What does this value tell her? That vinegar is a strong acid. Strong, just say a strong acid or acid. Just talk about vinegar being acid, that vinegar is an acid. What safety precaution did the learner observe when handling strong acids during the experiment? So they should wear protective equipment like gloves to prevent burns. Prevent burns. That one is correct. Next, a group of learners recorded the volume of water in a measuring cylinder as 150 cubic centimeter. State whether this is a basic or derived quantity. Give reason for your answer. So this group of learners, they recorded the volume of water in a measuring cylinder as 150. So volume is a derived quantity. Derived unit calculated from 2, calculated from 2 or more measurements. Are you getting that? Remember, it is 150 cubic centimeter. I don't know whether they picked 50 by 30. This is centimeter by 1 centimeter. What do we have? Sorry. So I don't know whether they picked 5 centimeter by 10 centimeter, that is 50 by 3 centimeter. Or they just took 50 centimeter by 3 centimeter by 1 centimeter to get 150 still. To get 150 still, I don't know. So it therefore means that 2 or more, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So those are 2 or more measurements. Are you getting that? So these people recorded the volume of water in a measuring cylinder as this one. So the right answer is that it is a derived quantity calculated from 2 or more measurements. The figure below shows both the female and male reproductive system. Study it and answer the questions. Which letters? So we have the parts here. This is the vagina or what? Birth canal. This one is the womb or uterus. This one is the oviduct. This one is the ova. This is, let's say it is ovary. And then when we come here, we're going to have the testis. We're going to have, in this case, this is penis. This is penis. Let's dive. Which letters in figure 2 represent the structure where male gametes are produced? E. This, they're produced within the structure. What is the function of the structure labeled A? Oviduct. Function of oviduct. Fertilization. That is the function. State one function of structure labeled C. Function of the structure labeled C. Now, C here is the birth canal. So what does it do? Allows the passage of the baby during birth. Allows passage of the baby during birth. Function of the part labeled H in figure 2. Penis. What is the role of the penis? What is the role of the penis? So this one is your question. Question. Kindly comment the role of the penis. Comment down there. Comment down there along the comment section, or contact via WhatsApp. Just comment. Leave alone contacting. Function of the part labeled H, and that is penis. Give me the function of that particular part. Give me the function. It is kind of a foreskin, but it is penis. It is penis. Give me the function of the penis. Number is, study the laboratory apparatus shown below. Name the apparatus. This is a hand lens or a magnifying lens. Name the parts labeled 1. Roman 1, Roman 2, Roman 3. So Roman 1, that is the lens. Roman 2, that is the frame. And last one is a handle. So those are the labels, the names. Give a reason why laboratory apparatus are made of glass. Number 1, they are unreactive. The glasses are unreactive. Glasses are unreactive. That is something that we know. They do not react. They are unreactive. Number 2, for clarity purposes. So remember, they are clear. Glasses are very clear for easy observation. For clarity purposes, as we observe the specimen. Those are some of the few reasons why laboratory apparatus are made up of glass. Give 2 reasons why it is important for consumers to read the following, to read and follow the instructions on the labels of cleaning products and chemicals before use at home. Number 1, reason why they need to read and follow instruction. So to check expiry date of the products. That is 1. Number 2, to get instructions on how to use the product. Number 3, to know the ingredients used to make the product. Are you getting that? Those are some of the reasons why they should read and follow instructions on the labels of cleaning products and chemicals before use. The side effects. Let me just add the side effects of this chemical. To know the side effects. To know the side effects of the chemicals. Number 30, which I assume is the last question. Alana was investigating the density of a block. He used a digital scale to measure the mass and a ruler to measure its dimension. The metal block has a mass of 480 grams. Its length was 8 centimeters, width 4, height 5. Name the derived quantity the learner was calculating. So density is the derived quantity here. The total block has a mass. So density is equals to mass all over volume. Another derived quantity here is volume. Calculate the density of the block. So density is simple, is equals to mass all over volume. where mass is in kilogram and volume is in cubic meter or in gram per centimeter cubic. So let's go. Do we have mass? Yes. What is our mass? Our mass is 480 grams over, what is our volume? 8 by 4 by 5. And this is now in cubic centimeters. So let me have my calc. Let me have my calculator with me. So I'm going to have 480 over 8 by 4 by 5, 160. 480 over 160, what is our answer? 3 gram per cubic centimeters. So if suppose the question was asking us to calculate the density in its SI unit. So in its SI unit, the SI unit is kilogram per cubic meter. Just multiply 3 by 1000 to change it into kilogram per cubic meter, which is 3000. So that marks the end of this paper. Kindly go through it again. It's a very, very nice paper with a lot of reasoning questions for grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9 learner. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye. Let's meet in the next paper.